A very warm welcome to yet another wonderful episode of Dine with World. I am your host Aisha and I am joined by the very talented senior chef of Serena Hotel Islamabad. He is an expert when it comes to cooking Mughlai dishes, Chef Ishtiaq. Thank you so much for joining us. How are you doing?
I'm fine.
Okay, and I have this question that do you enjoy eating as much as you like cooking?
Yeah.
Okay, wonderful. And I know that every ingredient has its own significance, but what is that one particular ingredient that you think you cannot cook without?
Salt.
Yes, definitely. So that's a very good answer. And our chef is going to prepare some wonderful dishes for us today. And let's see what he has in store. So, chef, what is the first dish?
First dish is fried finger fish.
Okay,
Nowadays in winter season, people likes too much finger fish.
Everybody loves fish fingers, whether it's kids or elder people. Everybody loves dipping them into your favorite sauce or eating them with a side. So I hope you have your notepads in handy because we are moving on to the recipe part. You will need fish fingers, 300 grams, salt for taste, Dijon mustard, 10 grams, lemon juice, 15 ml, black pepper crushed, 5 grams, corn flour, 15 grams, fine flour, 40 grams, egg, 1, breadcrumbs, panko, 150 grams, water as required, and oil for frying.
First we will have to marinate the fish.
Okay.
Then we will have to deep fry it.
And I guess the most important step is the marination.
Marination,
Yes,
yeah.
because
So-
you really want that flavor to go into the fish and you want it to taste good. Okay, and how much flour are we adding?
2 tablespoons.
And chef, according to our climate in Pakistan, what fish should we prefer while we're making fish fingers?
It's up to the people who likes
Okay, so
which
it's
kind of fish they want.
okay, so it's all dependent on your taste, whether you
Yeah.
like cod or you like salmon.
Yeah.
So it's totally up to you.
This is corn flour.
Okay, so that's a generous 1 tablespoon of corn flour.
This is lemon juice.
Okay, some lemon juice.
15 ml brown goat.
About 1 to 2 tablespoons of lemon juice.
This is Dijon mustard.
And some mustard. And the mustard is really going to bring out the taste. Okay, and 1 egg. The egg is really going to make everything stick together. And chef, once we marinate the fish, if we have a lot of time, can we leave it in the fridge for the
Yeah.
taste to just...
For about
Go
1 or 2 hours.
Okay, fine. So if
So
you have
we'll have-
time, we can always put it in the fridge.
So we will have to put the salt.
Okay. Now we're adding chef's favorite ingredient into the batter, salt.
Salt. This is crushed black pepper.
Okay. And guys, make sure that you freshly ground the black pepper because that will really bring out more flavor as compared to pepper that comes from a packet.
So we will have to.
And
Mix
the
it.
most important part where you're going to mix it and whisk it together.
Yeah.
And I guess this is the most important part. You want the batter to be really smooth and you don't want
Yes.
any lumps in it.
First we will have to mix it. Then we
Okay.
will add the water as required.
Okay, so that you avoid having any lumps in your batter.
Yeah.
So it should have a very smooth consistency, the
Yes.
batter? Okay.
Smooth. So we will have to add some water.
Well, chef, sometimes what happens is that when I'm making fried foods, the batter tends to fall off of the meat. So what can we do to avoid that?
First you will have to see it
Okay,
that I am making the mixture first.
okay,
First I will have add the lemon juice, egg,
Okay.
mix it,
okay,
and after that I will add the water.
okay, fine. So guys, make sure that you keep on whisking the mixture. You don't want any lumps to be formed. And while our chef is making the batter, you can see that he is preheating the oil. You never want to fry anything in cold oil because it will stick to the bottom of the pan and the coating will fall off. And make sure that while you're frying, you have the pan at the back burner. And now we'll come to the marination. So if you don't want to touch the meat or the fish, you can always wear kitchen gloves.
Yes.
Because I usually have a problem while touching meat. So this is a good option for me or anyone else who wants to use this.
As a point of view, you will have to wear the gloves
Yeah.
before
I
touching the
think-
meat.
Yeah, and then hygienically, yeah.
Yes.
This is...
have
Okay,
to
we can see
marinate it.
our chef is marinating the fish. So we can put all the fish in the batter at once?
Yes.
Okay.
After that, One by one, we will have to crumb it.
Okay. And which breadcrumbs are we using?
Enco breadcrumb.
Okay, so these are
breadcrumb is
Japanese
imported.
breadcrumbs. Yeah. So these are basically used for deep frying. It makes your food very crunchy.
Yes.
Yeah. So guys, make sure that whenever you're making fried food, you go for panko breadcrumbs rather than the usual ones that you get in the market. And you can see that fried fish is mostly preferred whenever we go out. We love eating fish, especially in the winter. And you can see that our chef is making such a wonderful recipe with so little ingredients. So it's not at all complicated, and you can try it at home. Give us your reviews, give us your feedback. We are always open for your suggestions. Make sure you do write to us.
We will have to crumb it.
Okay. And how high should the flame be?
On medium heat, we will have
Okay.
to fry it.
Okay. And chef, how do we make sure that the entire fish is just cooked through? Because sometimes what happens is that only the batter gets cooked and the meat inside, that stays raw.
It's, and you will have to deep fry the fish
Okay.
on medium heat. It will be brown from outside and
Okay, wonderful.
well-cooked from
Wonderful.
inside.
So guys, make sure that you keep the heat on a medium flame. You don't want it too low or too high.
So we will have
And
to
we
crumb
can
it.
see our chef is providing a very generous layer of breadcrumbs onto our marinated fish. I'm sure
Make
your
sure
kids are
you
going to
will-
love
you
this.
will have to crumb
Yes.
it. You will have to press it.
Okay. So that all the crumbs
All
stick
the
onto the
crumbs
batter.
stick it with the fish.
Okay, wonderful. So guys, make sure that once you're putting the breadcrumbs onto the batter, you really press them together so the breadcrumbs really stick onto the fish.
Yes.
And before using any form of meat, whatever that is, make sure that you properly wash it. Hygiene is very important. Make sure that it's clean. And chefs, sometimes when we use fish, it tends to release a lot of water when it's defrosting.
That's the main thing. First, you will have to wash the fish, put it into the strainer, strain all the water from it.
We can see our chef is nearly done. And the next step is frying the fish. So it's going to turn into a very lovely golden brown color, and it's going to be properly cooked through.
It's crunchy from the outside and soft
Wonderful.
from the inside.
I'm sure everyone is going to love it. Do try it at home. It's a very easy recipe. And I guess cooking is an art, and it is all about hard work.
Hot. The ingredients are the same.
Yes, exactly.
The method is different from
Yes.
the homemade cooking.
It all depends on how much hard work you put into it.
Yes.
And we can see our chef has perfectly coated the fish in breadcrumbs, and we're going to fry it now.
So the oil is heat up now.
Okay.
First, we will have to check it.
Okay.
Oh, it's perfect.
Okay, so the oil is perfect for
Perfect.
frying.
On medium heat, we
Okay.
will have to put one by one,
Okay.
gently.
So is it okay if we fry them all at once, or should we give them
No,
in
no,
a
no,
space and
space.
room? Okay.
According to the space.
And we can see our chef is increasing the heat a little bit. The oil was already preheated. You do not want to fry anything in cold oil.
So, fish is frying now.
And
will take-
when should we turn it?
When the color is getting a little bit light brown.
Okay, fine. So that is
We
when
have
we
to turn it.
start turning it. Okay, fine.
We will have to stir it a
Okay.
little bit.
And we can actually smell the aroma of the breadcrumbs and all the spices.
Yes.
It's a wonderful aroma. And it's already starting to change color.
Yes.
It's already turning light golden brown. It looks wonderful. And it didn't even take that long to make. It was very easy.
3-4 minutes.
Yeah. This is a wonderful recipe. I'm sure your friends and your family will really like it. Make sure that you do try this for them.
Yes.
And I guess fish fingers are mostly enjoyed with tartar sauce, and I guess that's very easy to make. Yeah.
With tartar sauce, some people like it with the ketchup.
Yeah, and some like it with French fries. I prefer eating it with French fries.
Yes. So it's getting color.
Okay, so the color of the fish is changing. It's nearly done.
Yes.
And
We will have to wait for it.
okay,
When it will become golden brown, we will
Okay.
have to remove from the oil,
okay,
and then we will have to present it.
okay, fine. And presentation, I guess, is the most
Most
important
important
step
thing
in cooking.
in cooking.
Yes. And guys, make sure that you have a kitchen towel or a tissue paper on your plate so that you drain the excess oil. You want your fish to remain crunchy, and that will only be achieved if you drain the excess oil. Otherwise, it will become very soggy.
This is the tomato sauce.
The presentation of our fish, and it already looks very colorful, and this lovely golden brown color of the fish will set very well in that platter. And he's arranging everything to perfection, and I'm sure the fish is going to be cooked in any time. And we can see that
The
the
main
fish
thing,
is
when
nearly
the
done.
fish will become up on the oil, the fish
Okay.
is ready.
Is it ready?
Now it will take 1 minute more.
Okay. So guys, where you've been patient enough, just hang in there for another minute and the fish will be nearly done. And make sure that while you're arranging the platter and everything, you don't forget about the fish. Keep on turning it, and you don't want it to burn. Our chef is seasoned, is arranging a lot of very colorful peppers in the presentation. They look wonderful and they will sit very well with the fish.
Main thing is presentation.
Exactly, exactly. And automatically the food tastes good
First,
once it looks
your
good.
eyes will eat.
Yes,
Then we will have to
definitely.
taste.
That's a very good point by our chef. If it looks good to the eye, it will definitely taste good.
Yes.
And our chef is now preparing to take out the fish. That's nearly been done. It's turned into a wonderful golden brown color.
Yes. We will
It
have to
looks
see.
very crispy. And I guess the breadcrumbs also play a very important role when you're
Yes.
frying something. So guys, make sure that you go for these Japanese breadcrumbs that are called panko breadcrumbs. They are
Yes.
designed for deep frying. Isn't that right, chef?
Yes. So you will see
Yes, it's
the
a
fish will
wonderful.
become up.
Yes,
It's
it's
now
a
ready
wonderful
for the-
color. It looks very crispy, very tempting. Wonderful.
So
And now I think our fish is
ready
just
now.
about done.
So
Wonderful.
we will have to remove from the oil.
And I guess when handling oil, one should be very careful.
Yes.
Yeah.
You see, it's done now.
Okay, wonderful. It has turned into a very beautiful golden brown color, and it looks extremely crispy and crunchy.
When you will removing the fish from the oil, you
Yes.
will have to reduce the heat.
Okay. Fine. So guys, make sure that you reduce the heat when you're removing the fish from the oil. And then if you think that some of the seasoning, if you need some more seasoning, you can add it according to your own requirements on the basis of your own taste. If you need some more salt and pepper.
Yes. Some people like spices.
Yes, exactly. Now the excess oil is being drained from the fish.
Yes. So the fish is ready now.
Okay, wonderful. We can see
Oh,
our
we'll
fish
have
is
to-
ready.
To make the presentation. This is the main thing.
And we can see that our chef is giving the final steps, and he is preparing a wonderful platter for us. And it's setting beautifully with the chopped peppers. And it smells absolutely wonderful. I'm sure you guys are going to love this recipe. Do try this out. And guys, like our chef said, that presentation is very important. If you worked really hard on your recipe, but you failed when it comes to presenting it really nice, then I think your effort has sort of like gone
Destroyed.
to waste.
So
Wonderful,
the crumpled finger fish is ready now.
wonderful.
This is the main
As you can see that our
appetizer is
chef,
ready.
yes, Wonderful. You can see that our chef has fried such beautifully golden brown fish, and I'm sure you guys are going to love it at home. Do give us your feedback. Thank you so much, chef,
You are
and we
welcome.
can't wait what you're going to cook for us in the main course.
Yeah.
And you can see that our chef has prepared such a wonderfully golden brown crispy fried chicken, and he's basically an expert when it comes to cooking Mughlai dishes. So chef, what are you making for us today?
So the first main dish we will have to prepare Jangiri lamb chop masala.
Okay, wonderful. And I guess that many people all over the world, they love eating lamb. It is considered as one of the most favorite meats, especially in Pakistan. And who can resist a perfectly cooked lamb chop drizzled with a little bit of lemon juice and cooked to perfection? I'm sure it will taste divine. So chef, I'm moving on to the recipe card. And guys, make sure you note down all the ingredients. You will need lamb chops, 250 grams, tomatoes grind, 70 grams, brown onion paste, 25 grams, salt for taste, red chilies crushed, 5 grams, turmeric powder, 3 grams, cumin white crushed, 3 grams, coriander crushed, 3 grams, green chili paste, 5 grams, garlic paste, 3 grams, ginger paste, 3 grams, cashew nut paste, 4 grams, milk, 30 ml, fresh cream 10 ml, butter 25 grams and water as required. So we are preparing Jahangiri lamb chops masala for you. It's a very special Mughlai dish and our expert chef is going to teach us how it's done.
So first we will have to add the clarified butter or desi ghee.
Okay. So this is a very royal dish, I guess.
Yes.
Okay. And how much desi ghee are we going to put into this?
3.5 tablespoons.
Okay, so guys, make sure you add 3.5 tablespoons of desi ghee into a medium-sized pan.
So first we will have to put the chopped garlic.
Okay. We can see that our chef has very finely chopped the garlic and it is added into the desi ghee. And how long are we going to cook the garlic for?
First we will have to saute it with the
Okay.
clarified butter. Then we will have to add the ginger paste.
Okay, so we're basically just waiting for the garlic to release its flavor
Yes.
into the oil. So chef, do you usually cook at home?
Occasionally.
And does your wife like your cooking?
Yes, mostly
Okay, I'm sure she does. And is your wife a good cook?
she is a good cook.
Okay, great, wonderful.
So we
can
will
see-
have to add the
Okay,
ginger paste. 1 teaspoon.
okay. So guys, once the garlic has been sauteed, make sure you add in 1 teaspoonful of ginger paste and just mix it
Yeah.
all together. And we
When
can see
it
how
is-
it's sizzling
it will
together.
become both of them
Okay.
light brown. Then we will have the green chili paste.
Okay, fine. And how did you make the green chili paste?
We will have to blend it.
Okay, so
Yes.
we can grind it in any
In
blender
any
grinder?
blender you will have to blend like this.
Okay, it's just green chilies?
Green chilies.
Okay.
And I will have to put some oil
Okay, fine.
because its color will be green.
Okay,
I mean
okay.
green
Okay.
with the oil.
Okay, wonderful. So see guys, we're giving you some very useful tips as well, and it's very easy to make your very own chili paste. All you have to do is add in a little bit of oil and
So
grind it.
we will have to add the
Okay,
green chili paste.
wonderful. All of the ingredients are now sizzling together. The chilies have merged in with the garlic and the ginger, and they're giving a very wonderful flavor and an aroma.
Fresh coriander,
Okay.
half teaspoon. Turmeric powder,
Okay.
red chilies. Fresh coriander,
So
1
you can
teaspoon.
see that our chef is adding a variety of spices into.
Some people like spicy, some people
Yes.
like less spicy. It's a medium spicy.
Okay. So it basically
has-
depends on one's taste. You can always add in chilies once the curry is
Salt,
made.
I mean,
Yes,
taste.
the main ingredient, salt.
So we will have to mix
Okay.
all these spices.
And how
with the
long do
butter.
we have to cook it for?
No, then we will have to put the onion sauce,
Okay.
brown onion sauce.
So how did you make this sauce?
First we will have to brown the onion,
Okay.
then we blend with the water.
Okay, like any normal way in which we fry onions before
Yes.
we start cooking. So that's very easy. And how much do we have to add?
Around about 3 tablespoons.
Okay, fine.
And also grind tomatoes.
Okay. 3 to 4 tablespoons.
5 tablespoons.
Okay, 5 tablespoons of tomatoes. And guys, make sure that you keep on stirring.
Yes, we will have to keep
Yes.
stirring it.
You don't want any of the ingredients to stick to the bottom of the pan.
Yes. And the lamb chops we will have to boil it first.
Okay, fine. It takes longer to cook.
Yes.
So how long are we supposed to boil it for?
Around about 50 minutes.
Okay, and do we have to add anything into the water while we're boiling it?
Yes, we will have to add one green cardamom, one black cardamom,
Okay.
one cinnamon stick, and some salt.
So it's the same way like you're making yakhni.
Yes.
Okay. The same
And
spices.
we, so you will have to see.
Okay.
We will have to make the gravy.
And we can see our gravy is nearly done and the oil is starting to separate
Yes.
from the ingredients. It's turned into a very rich consistency.
When you will have boiled the lamb chunks,
Yes.
make sure you will have to put more water.
Okay.
Because when the stock is left, you will have to keep it.
Okay.
You will have to use it for the lamb chops.
Okay, so all of the flavor that is released by the lamb,
Chops.
we can add it into our gravy.
Yes.
So it's going to add more flavor.
So we will have to add the lamb chops.
Okay. And how many are we using?
It's around about 250 grams.
Okay. We can see that this recipe is very rich in flavor and it's cooked in ghee and we're going to add some cream to it which will add a lot of flavor to it. It will make it very rich and royal. So Mughlai dishes are mostly made with cream and butter.
And desi ghee.
Okay, so they're like very
Cashew nut
rich in
paste.
flavor. Okay, wonderful.
So we shall have to add some stock in it.
Okay. So this is
It's
the
lamb
stock.
stock.
Okay, the lamb stock. So guys, make sure that you keep the lamb stock in handy while you're boiling the lamb. So we're just going to add 2 spoonsful.
Yeah.
And we're really just going to let the lamb cook in its own stock
Yes.
and the rest of the spices.
It will take hardly 8 to 10 minutes.
Okay, wow, now that's very quick for lamb to be cooked.
Make sure you will have to cook the lamb chops on medium heat.
Okay, so guys, make sure that you take care about the heat. You don't want to burn the lamb.
Yes.
And I guess everyone loves eating lamb chops. They are everyone's favorite all over the world. And guys, in every episode I tell you about an ingredient of the day, and the ingredient that I've chosen from today's recipe is turmeric powder, and it is basically an anti-inflammatory. It contains a lot of antioxidants, and if you have a flu or if you're suffering from a cold, I'm sure many of you are in this really cold season, what you can do is you can mix 1 teaspoon of a turmeric, which is called haldi in Urdu, in a warm glass of milk, and that will relieve you from those sniffles.
So we will have to add some stock,
Okay,
around about 3 tablespoons.
so we're going to add more stock into our
Lamb chops.
lamb chops. And just guys, make sure that you keep on stirring. You want
Yes.
everything to remain consistent. And as these chops have already been boiled, it won't take very long for them to get cooked and
Now
tender.
we will have to add some milk in it.
Okay. That's around about 4
tablespoons.
4 tablespoons of milk will be added into our curry.
These are the basic ingredients in Mughlai dishes.
Okay.
Milk, fresh cream, cashew nut paste.
Okay. Yes, a lot of cashews are also used in Mughlai
Yes.
dishes, and cream. Everything is very royal
So
and very
you
rich
will
in
see
flavor.
the color is changing.
Yes, absolutely.
At the end, we will add fresh cream and cashew nut paste in it.
Okay, wonderful. So that's the last step of
Last
our
type
recipe.
of our dish.
And then at the end is going to be the garnishing, which is
Garnishing.
also very important. And I usually like garnishing my curries with coriander. It really just brings out the flavor.
Yes.
It adds a wonderful aroma into the curry.
You will see.
Yeah, the gravy is thick now. Yes.
And it will become more thick.
Okay,
then
wonderful.
we'll have to add fresh cream and cashew nut paste.
Okay. And how do you make cashew nut paste? Is it easy?
First, we will have to fry in the
Okay.
oil.
Okay.
Then we will have to grind it with the milk.
And how long do we have to fry the cashew nuts for?
Then it will become golden brown.
Okay, fine. So see, our chef is giving you such valuable and good tips. So make sure you do keep note of them and you keep on watching our show.
So we will have to reduce the heat.
Okay.
The lamb chow masala is almost done.
Okay, wonderful.
At last, we will have to add fresh cream and cashew nut paste.
Okay.
So we will have to choose the.
So guys, make sure that you keep on stirring into your gravy. The gravy has a very rich consistency and the aroma that is coming from it is wonderful.
So it's almost done.
Okay.
Reduce the heat. Now we will have to put the fresh cream
Okay.
and cashew nut paste.
So it's basically our own choice, whatever we
Own
feel
choice.
comfortable using. Okay. So we have to add about how many teaspoons?
4 tablespoons.
Okay, 4 tablespoons of fresh cream have been added into our curry and we're reaching the final steps.
Is the cashew nut paste.
Okay,
You will see
wonderful.
it.
It's a very smooth paste without any lumps. Okay, and this is really just going to add a very rich flavor and
Yes.
add a lot of texture into our curry.
So
It's wonderful. And guys, make sure that you mix everything together. The color of
Yes.
our curry is changing. So are we
increase the
going to
heat.
increase the heat and let
Yes.
it cook?
Only cook 10 to 15 minutes. After
Okay.
that, we will have to garnish it.
Do we have to cover it while
No,
we're
no,
cooking
no.
it?
No need to cover it
Okay.
because the lamb chop is already done.
Okay.
You will see the color.
Yes, wonderful. It's made a very thick gravy.
Yes.
Wonderful. Although it's very important that when you're making gravy, you use a lot of onions and tomatoes. And in this recipe, we use none of those and everything looks wonderful.
So
It's a very
Slowly.
unique recipe. And the last step, that is the garnishing of our dish. The
Yes.
most important step,
The most
like
important.
Chef Ishtiaq said, your presentation is very important and anything that looks good to the eye, it will automatically taste better.
Yes.
And what should we usually serve this Mughlai dish with?
It's better to use naan roti.
Okay. And can we
For
eat
the
it with
lunch.
rice?
You can. It's up to you.
Okay.
It's your own choice. You will use steamed rice,
Mm-hmm.
plow, or anything else. But better you will have to use naan roti.
Yeah, because a lot of people usually prefer eating roti with gravy.
Yes.
And very few people like me prefer eating rice.
For this, you will have to eat
Roti.
robani naan and roti.
To really taste the actual flavor.
Actual flavor.
Wonderful. And we can see how our chef is meticulously placing all the lamb chops together. Wonderful. Guys, you can see that it is a very rich dish, and although it might sound scary that it's going to be something very complicated, you can see it was nothing of that sort. It's very easy. All you have to do is boil some lamb before you start using it so that you can really cook it through while you're preparing your dish. And do try it at home.
You will have to see all the oil has
Wonderful.
gone from it.
Yes. And we can actually see there's a variety of ingredients mixed in this gravy. It looks very royal, very rich, very thick in consistency.
So we will have to put
Wonderful.
some gravy in it.
And guys, do make sure that once you make this dish, you do present it well, and whatever you prefer eating it with, it can be garlic naan. And nowadays we can get a variety of different naans from the market,
Yes.
so you can choose
There
whatever
are
you want.
Cheese naan,
Yes, garlic naan.
garlic naan, kalbanji naan.
Yes, wonderful.
So we will have to present it.
Okay, now is the most important step where our chef is going to garnish and present our lamb chops that he just made.
To garnish these lamb chops with chopped ginger.
So that's really going to bring out that flavor and
Yes.
Add more aroma to our dish.
Some chopped green chilies.
And garnishing is incomplete if you don't add any green chilies to it.
And fresh coriander.
And fresh coriander. Yeah, wonderful. And we can see that the coriander and the green chilies are really bringing more color into our dish. It's making
Yes.
it's making it very vibrant and beautiful. And we can see that our chef is just making the final steps onto the presentation of our Jahangiri lamb chops, and we would really want you guys to see it.
It's the presentation of the lamb chops.
It looks absolutely divine.
Also with some kalwanji, rogani naan, and also roti.
Wonderful. So you can eat it however you like and with any side that you want. And we can see in today's episode, Chef Ishtiaq made two wonderful recipes for us. The first one was an appetizer, and that was followed by a very royal Mughlai dish that was Jahangiri lamb chops. I'm sure that you guys would have had a lot of fun, as much fun as I did. Do try these recipes out and do give us your feedback. Your suggestions and comments are always welcome. And thank you so much, Chef
You are
Ishtiaq,
welcome.
for joining us today and teaching us two wonderful recipes. Till next time, see you later.